This is exactly why I'm leaving. So look who I just picked up. Texas Silver in the house. So we're just leaving the airport here in Ontario. Going to go grab something to eat and head back to the desert. Absolutely brutal traffic. The 60, the 10, they're all bad. The 215, everything's just a disaster. But it is what it is. We're leaving in the wee hours tomorrow morning. Hopefully, going to make some good time on our way to Alabama. I want to thank Aaron for coming
feet,
all the way out
California 60 East
to help me out. It's going to be a long trip, but should be fun. And we're going to put some good videos together on Texas Silver and my channel. So as we're cruising now on the 60, real quick, the metals, man, what's going on?
They're on fire. I think silver closed just about at all-time record high in the last 14 years or something. Gold's pretty much all-time record high, but yeah, they just keep going. They get knocked back, and we're so used to the people that have been in this for a while, so used to when they get slammed back, $1 or $2 or more, they stay there for months, weeks, years. And now they get knocked back a couple dollars, and within a day or two, they're back at where they were at, and sometimes higher. It's crazy.
So something is definitely shifted now to where they're not knocking the metals down like they used to, and especially with silver, it was so volatile. Where we used to see a 2, 3, or 5 cent move in a day, and then we get knocked right back down. And it went out, it seemed, for years, and now all of a sudden we're seeing these massive gains on a daily basis. What's going on behind the scenes? Is the economy really in big trouble? Is it the U.S. dollar that's in big trouble? Is it inflation? What is it?
I think it's all those things you just mentioned, but also I think all these banks that have been shorting silver all these years are finally realizing they're losing control of it, and I think they're starting to switch their positions. Wasn't it the SLV? There were no more shares available to short. I don't understand all that 100%, but pretty much, that tells me that they can't short silver anymore, at least on the SLV.
Do you think we're going to see at some point a silver shortage? We've seen the mint run out before. We've seen the coin shops run out. Could we see this happen again, where it gets very, very difficult to acquire, and the premiums begin to explode?
Right. I think we will. I keep hearing from gentlemen that are a lot more intelligent, more, smart when it comes to this space, like Bill Holter. He thinks there's going to be a fail to deliver, and eventually we won't be able to get this stuff. Same with Mike Maloney. There's a couple, really smart guys out there that are saying this, and it happens every time. Every time there's a shortage, yes, the premiums go up. I just saw on X that the mint that makes the Kugran, South African mint, they're completely out of Kugrans and they're on backwater. So it is happening. We're seeing the shortages in real time.
So I know you're a big silver guy. What's your prediction on price? How high do you think silver is going to go? Because I do think it will hit a bubble territory at some point, because everybody will run into it eventually, because there's really nowhere else to go. How high could silver go?
Well, it could go to infinity if no one wants to accept the U.S. dollar. But I've been hearing a lot of $60 to $70 by the end of the year. Within the first quarter, $100 per ounce. But all that shows is the erosion of the dollar, the purchasing power of the dollar, and
so it's not that silver's getting more expensive. The dollar's
right.
just
the
losing purchasing power.
But also, there's so many things. Silver's been,
yes.
It was demonetized, 170 years ago. It's been manipulated for forever. So,
but it's industrial type,
yeah.
Or it's industrial side
right.
of the metal too. With technology today,
right.
It's a double-sided metal, monetary and industrial.
Right, and then you just had the U.S. government reclassify it as a critical mineral. So we're at a place that we have never been in world history. So, I don't know how high it could go. I've even heard in the thousands, and that may sound a little high, but if Bitcoin can go to 120,000, and that's digital air, I know people are going to be upset about this, but you have a real commodity that has real world purpose and use that's $48, and it is a critical mineral. It's in everything, and we are in a deficit. And I mean, I could go on for hours on why silver, but it's just, yeah, I think it's going to go to the moon.
So I know a lot of people are excited about the prices, but I think we also have to be concerned about the prices too, because it is warning us that something is very wrong, correct? I mean, if the economy was booming and things were great and the dollar was strong, we didn't have inflation, the metals would not be reacting like this. The metals doing what they're doing is a scary sign, a warning, a barometer, canary in the coal mine, call it what you want, that something's going on.
Right, and I know we've talked about this on this channel. I think I've talked about it on mine, but again, I'm going to go back to Bill Holter. He is talking about be careful what you wish for. So we're excited that all these metals are going up in price finally, but what does that mean for the people that don't have any, that their wealth is being stolen from them? And when people lose everything, they lose it. So it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, us that have it are excited, but I mean, there are people that are out there that are legitimately hurting, becoming homeless, losing jobs. And just fortunate for me, you know, I woke up to this at a very, you know, about a decade ago, and realized, hey, I need to take this seriously, and I need to start putting back hard assets.
Let me ask you this. How bad could the U.S. economy get? I know a lot of people are comparing it to 2008. I think it's going to be much, much worse than 2008. I think it's going to make 2008 look like a Sunday school picnic. I compare it more to 29. It could be worse than 29, because when you look at the debts, the deficits, the homeless epidemic, the inflation, the quantitative easing, the manipulation of the job numbers, and now the labor crisis that's taking place. You look at auto debt, you look at student loan debt, you look at personal debt, you look at bankruptcies exploding. I think this could be really, really bad. What are your thoughts, and could you expand on where we're at and where we could be?
Well, so when the Great Depression happened, the country, the citizens were in a completely different place. So we weren't in all the debt that we're in. The world wasn't on an all fiat monetary system. Right, well, but the whole world is not on a fiat monetary system. Back then, people knew how to hunt and grow food and take care of themselves. Neighbors took care of each other. And so the debt has never been this high. The numbers have never been this bad, from what I understand. They keep manipulating the formulas. And so from what I understand, we're already in a depression. And they don't even want to say the R word, recession, because they don't want to have to admit any of this stuff until they absolutely have to. So I think we're in a depression. I think this is going to be worse than the Great Depression. I think the Great Depression is going to be a walk in the park compared to what's coming.
This could be the greatest depression, is what you're saying, which I totally agree with 100%. And this would be the worst possible time for it to happen, because now we're talking about multiple wars in the Middle East, Eastern Europe. We're talking about, potential war with China, and we're a very divided nation, which is not going to help, because when you look at the history of the Great Depression, read about it, watch documentaries, movies, all that, people really came together. People really helped one another. You look at the crime and you look at the division in this country, it would be brutal if you lost your job and went homeless, because nobody's coming to help you. In fact, people will take your shoes. They'll take anything that they have, any food that you have, they're going to take. Just look at what's happening right now. It is a warning to things to come, but how bad could it get?
I think it can get really bad. And I guess another thing I want to point out is, back when the Great Depression happened, I'm guessing most women stayed at home. Today, we have a lot of single parents, single families, and the ones that are together, both are working. Some of them have multiple jobs. And so these people don't even have a way to even create more income. And so in the Great Depression, there was probably things that people could do, like, the wife could probably, bake stuff, or, I don't know what, but there were probably ways for these people to make more income. And where people now are tapped, they already have 2-3 jobs, side hustles, 2 incomes, 3 incomes, and they're still not making it.
Well, and that's a good point. The dollar, if you had a dollar back then, it went somewhere. Now today, think about money. I mean, $2,500 for a rinky-dink apartment. You go to the grocery store, it's $200. You need a car repair, it's a fortune. How are people? I don't even know how people are doing it right now. Do you?
I really don't. I'm very blessed to be in the career field that I'm in, but I watch a bunch of different channels, and I've seen a lot of TikToks of these single women, and just talking about how they're about to be homeless. They just literally have nowhere else to turn at this point. They don't make enough to where they can get help from the government, and they make but they don't make enough to get housing and stuff like that. So it's really sad. This should be the richest country in the world, and it's sad.
And I will add that the churches have really checked out too. Many of them just about the dollar and their corporations, and they have really sold out their congregations and the American people too. Not to say that there aren't some good ones, because there are, but the majority of them now are just about business. So if you get yourself into financial trouble, you're on your own. You get tossed out in the streets, you're on your own. If you don't have a family or a church to fall back on, you're in big, big trouble. And, when we were making these videos talking about this years ago, people used to laugh about the homeless. They used to laugh about people sleeping in tents and sleeping in their cars, and those people deserve that, and, they're losers. And now nobody's laughing, because all this now is coming to fruition. And many people who watched those videos 3-4 years ago, when we were talking about this, now are in a position to where maybe they lost a job, and now they're sleeping in their car, or they're possibly going to be sleeping in their car. And we don't want that to happen to anybody. This is why we've been making videos for years, to wake people up, to think for themselves, get self-sufficient, cut out, the junk that you don't need, the garbage, the dumb things you don't need to be buying, pay down the debts, have some real money like gold and silver. By the way, if you need help purchasing gold and silver, go to my link down below, SD Bullion. Fantastic company. Been dealing with them for 8 years. I know Aaron just made a purchase from them. Nice large silver purchase. Two purchases.
I haven't done the video on the second one.
Okay, so 2 purchases from SD Bullion. So make sure to look them up. Anything you want to add to the video as we're cruising?
I hate to say this, but I think it's too late for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's sad. This should be the country, the land of opportunity. And unfortunately, we, the people, have allowed this by the way that we have voted. And it's just, I don't know what some of these people are going to do. I don't think it's too late for, I guess, some people, but I think there are a lot of people that they should have woken up a long time ago, and it's probably no fault to their own. It's our education system and all that. No one teaches you this. You have to have a conscious awakening to go look for answers, and that's what happened to me. And that's why I'm just glad that I knew something was wrong and went looking for answers, because no one sat me down and was like, hey, Aaron, you need to do gold, silver. No one ever taught me that. I guess self-taught, and it's just...
Quick question.
Yeah.
If somebody's got a couple bucks, I know gold has gotten extremely pricey and priced out a lot of people. But if you have the means, I think it's on sale, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I think that gold is definitely going to 5,000 and beyond. I know you think the same thing. Oh. But right now, it's going to cost you $4,000 to buy an ounce of gold, right, with the premium. And if you can do it, because it's never going to be worth zero. It's going to continue to go up, in my opinion. And the worse things get, and if you think they're going to get worse, then you probably should own some gold. Now, if you go, I don't have anything near $4,000 to buy an ounce of gold, but I've got maybe $400 and I want to buy some silver, what would you recommend as a silver buyer? What would you recommend for somebody who's new? What should they be buying as far as silver? If I'm buying gold, I would recommend buffaloes, 1 ounce buffaloes. That's my recommendation. But if you're buying silver, what would the new buyer get into?
So if you're in America, I would recommend starting with junk silver or constitutional silver, which is pre-1965, dimes, quarters, halves, silver dollars. But I would stick to dimes, if not maybe quarters. That way you have multiple transactions, because if you have 14 dimes, it's 1 ounce, so you have 14 transactions, versus if you buy an eagle, silver eagle, you have 1 transaction. So I would get quite a bit of constitutional silver, You can get a dime. I don't even know what silver keeps going. I don't even know what a dime is these days, but probably $2-3 at a local coin store. Just make sure it's a reputable dealer. But I would start with dimes, 90%. And then once you feel like you have a lot of that, get some eagles. If you're in another country, I would get coins that are minted by that country.
SD Bullion had some specials, I believe, on junk silver.
Yes, I actually picked some up, and that's going to be my next one. They had it at spot, and it's $50, but I couldn't pass up getting junk at spot. So
you can go to SD Bullion, check it out, link down below, get some constitutional silver, junk silver. It's I think a real smart move. I don't know anybody that's bought gold or silver and said, I really regret my purchase 5 years ago or a year ago or 10 years ago or 20 years ago. I don't know anybody who regrets owning this stuff, because it's going to get worse, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to break the news to you. Things are going to get much worse. Now, if you believe they're going to get better, save all your dollars, invest in the stock market, and I wish you the best. But if you think they're not going to get better, that the job crisis will get worse, inflation's going to get worse, and look, they cut rates again, inflation's only going to get greater. If you think it's going to get worse, you buy metals. If you think it's going to get better, buy paper. I'm on the team that thinks it's going to get much, much worse. And we've taken advantage. People say, that's never going to happen. It's going to go to 800 an ounce and $8 an ounce and never going to happen. We took advantage of all those years and stockpiled as much of the stuff as we could. We were doing just what the central banks were doing. While they were telling you to go buy paper and get in the stock market and run up debt, they were backing up the trucks, buying precious metals. And now we're going to see the pendulum swing, and it's going to be the haves and have-nots. And I already saw this happen in 2008. What did we see the Dow Jones go down? 80, 90%? We're going to see it happen again. We're going to see it happen again. People say, that can never happen. It already happened, and we're going to see it happen again. So your stocks, the US dollar, bonds, going to be absolutely trashed. Gold and silver, I think, is where it's at. My opinion, not financial advice. I will let Aaron close it out. Any thoughts on the financial crash on the stock market? How bad could it get?
I think it definitely. Well, I guess it could go two ways. Because look at Venezuela has all-time record highs in their stock market, but that is because their currency has been printed worthless. So, but either way, the stock market keeps losing value compared to gold. So whether the stock market keeps hitting all-time record highs, it's with fiat that keeps getting more worthless.
So they're sacrificing your purchasing power, your US dollar, for the stock market.
Right.
It will end bad.
Right. So either way, whether it is a melt up, a meltdown, it's not good. It's losing its worth compared to gold. So gold, silver, and another thing, I know I talk about this on my channel, but sometimes you can't get your family members to stack silver. So what I do is everyone gets silver for Christmas. So it's a way to get your family and friends, because sometimes it just takes getting that coin in their hand and like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then they get addicted and then they start stacking. So, there are ways to help out your friends and family. Just got to make sure that they're not going to go spend it on crack, make sure they're responsible individuals. But that's how I've gotten my family doing it.
So we'll wrap it up right there. Another reason to be leaving California. Take a look at this. I mean, we're just sitting here in a parking lot now for about a half hour. I mean, look at this mess. Every day. I don't know how. I mean, I guess we could just do a video on how do people do this every day, driving to work, driving home from work every day, 2 hours, 3 hours each way. Could you do this, ladies and gentlemen? Take a look at this. Your thoughts, Aaron?
Well, to be honest with you, I do this every day, five days a week where I'm at, but I do get to leave the city and I'm out in the country, but yeah, I'm over it. So,
my Lord, this is part of it. Absolutely insane. I would need help after a couple weeks of this every day. I just don't get it. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. We are going to fight this traffic to arrest to a restaurant so we can grab something to eat here. We're starving. Get Aaron some food here. He's getting a little
lightheaded.
Getting a little lightheaded, a little woozy. Anyways, again, like, share, and subscribe. Talk to all of you very, very soon. God bless. Take care.